What if I told you the highest paid skill in the world isn't coding? Isn't it even investing? I will tell you, business is not one of that. It's the ability to sell.
Making 10,000 in 90 days, to be honest, in this industry is very easy.
Whether you are pitching an idea, closing a client, applying for a job, or even building a startup, you are always selling something.
If you have to get through 100 no's to get to one yes, it's like just get through those no's as quick as possible.
In today's episode of NLSA Podcast, we'll break down the real tips and tricks of selling.
Oof, that's a hard one.
You need to know if they are actually looking to sell or they are just testing the market.
We will also look into how to influence people without manipulating them, or how to handle objections with real confidence.
A rejection is just part of the process.
Okay, we want to hear a story there. Let's master the art of selling. If you want to be rich, learn to sell.
Y'all learn to sell.
Let's welcome Jay and Jong. Hello everyone, welcome to NLSA Podcast. Today we have some awesome people with us. These two are one of the biggest sellers in New Zealand at this stage. They have started from nothing. They are stepping by one to $1 million market, not a million, multiple $1 million market. Welcome Jay and Jong. Can you introduce yourself and give us a short intro about yourself and tell us why we should really listen to you?
Thanks, Anuvindh, for having us. So my name is Jong Lee. I'm a real estate agent in Auckland. I'm part of Team Jay and Jong. Just to tell you a little bit about myself. So I came to New Zealand when I was 1 year old with my parents. We're from South Korea. And it's quite interesting because I never thought I'd be in this position where I'm selling homes or be in sales at all. I had a different kind of dream, like every other Kiwi. I wanted to play footy or rugby. And that's what I did growing up. But life changed. Things happen in life and, your direction changes. I went to university. I do have a degree in neuroscience, so completely different. I thought I'd be in the science field after this, which I did for a short period of time, but I came to real estate and learned how to sell. And I thought I'd share my story of how it changed my life. And maybe someone out there is also looking to do something different or get into sales themselves. I can share some of my stories that might resonate with you guys as well.
Cool. About myself, my name is Kaur, and I'm also a real estate agent based in Auckland. As Jong said before, we are Team Jay and Jong. As you might, probably some of them, you had seen us on the social media. And a little bit myself, I came to New Zealand back in 2016 as a international student, coming from India, especially from the northern part of India, which is called Punjab. Coming from a small town and making my way up to here, sitting here is itself, I believe, is an achievement in that, and I'm very proud of that. And when you say, why should you listen to us or listen to me? If you're looking for a friend, for a person who can give you advice, if you're looking to sell, buy, opening of your business, doing of something, you can maybe learn from something from our experience. I would say, yes, just keep listening and seeing if you can relate to us.
Okay, I want to know the aha moment in your life that you realized selling can make money.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the first time for myself was probably not until like a year into selling, because in this kind of industry, it takes a lot of work. And even when you sell your first one, you don't know where your next one is. But when you're consistent and you start to sell a few more houses, and then you get a year in, we sold about 20 houses, 21 houses, then you're like, this is, you can make this as a living and you can, do it for the rest of your life. Yeah.
How would you, Jay?
I think it's maybe a funny answer. Maybe someone can relate to it. I don't know. Being an Indian, everyone can, like, who's Indian listener, they can understand how expensive Indian weddings are. And, you know, and to be able to afford my own wedding by myself was a aha moment for me when I realized that, yes, in real estate, I can do anything and everything in terms of money, in terms of funds. That was the freedom I got from.
When did you understand that's the case?
To be honest, when I met my fiance and we were going through the planning and the process of the wedding, and we were going through the budget and everything, like before, like Jay, before real estate, like 5,000 was a very big number for me. Let's just say that thing. But when we were going through the wedding list and the small events, which was cost like $5,000, I felt it's nothing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's crazy.
It's like achievable, it's like it's not something which I can't afford.
Yep.
I was like, that was actually the moment the real estate has given me the freedom.
If you take one superpower from her and that you believe like that's one must have skills,
Yeah.
what it's going to be. And same with you. One skill set that you're going to steal from him, what is that's going to be?
Mine's easy. I think it's her ability to talk. Oh gosh, she has a lot to say, and she never has anything to run out of. So I would take that skill from her any day of the week.
Oh, what do you?
From Jong, I have learned so much, and I think the superpower Jong has his skills to be on time, like following the schedule, and to be able to make me also understand that how important and how easy it is to maintain and keep that routine going. This is the biggest superpower, and having be him by my side is also the superpower I can have.
That's good. What are the steps that you guys take for planning, execution, and measure it as a success?
I think for us, when we sell homes, it's about getting a vendor to be, getting their trust. So in real estate, it takes about 8 to 15 touch points. So not the first time you talk to someone doesn't mean that's when you're going to close a deal.
Yeah.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
So it's about setting the points of when do I call this person and how many touch points you get.
Yeah.
So it might be like email, phone call, text message. So you just want to keep in touch with them. And then once you keep in touch with them, you're talking to them. The first thing is you got to schedule the appointment. Get them, go see them, build that rapport again in person. And then from there, it's like, for us in our industry, you got to do the appraisal, you got to set the meeting.
What kind of planning you guys gonna have? Sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
And so I just want to know that's very specific to your industry, right? So you guys have some certain level of planning that you guys put into this, right? Let's say you got a house onto the market. You have a certain level of planning, like advertising, reaching out to audience, cold calling, soft calling, or like all these, right? What kind of efforts you guys actually put into as a stage one?
We got the home on the market. So now we're putting the advertising in all the platforms. We're doing the local advertising, putting the flyers out, the borders out. We touch base with everyone in our database. We send the emails, the text messages. We call anyone who we think we've already worked with who might like the home as well. So we reach out to everyone. We schedule the open homes. For example, if we have an auction, it's 3 weeks. It's 3 weekends of open homes. So we put the times up for everyone and there's a set date. So we have a schedule that we follow and we have a system where we know when to touch point for each person.
All right. Okay. So a question for you, Jay. If a person in the age between 20s or 30s, they want to have a $10,000 in 90 days. If you are going to start again in this 90 days, what is your plan going to be?
Making 10,000 in 90 days, to be honest, in this industry is very easy. I would say the first important step is to know who you are. What is your job? Like being a real estate agent, my job is not just selling. My job is to build the relationship, like to earn their trust, to be able to be the one who can solve their problem, to be able to ask the discovery questions, to know where the pain is or what they are like looking to get the answer for, and then helping them in the right way, in the right manner, to be able to get there to the right spot in terms of the buyers or the vendors. And I think that is the best thing you can do. Follow the procedure and know who you are, how the things you can achieve. Like there is a set of like process or the rules you can follow, and you can easily make 10,000 in 90 days. It's not a big thing.
Okay. If I want to ask a plan for that,
Yeah.
Yes.
what's the plan?
Yes. So the first plan, I would say, if you are like new to the industry, your touch points, build your database. That's very important. Follow-ups is the second important thing.
Is the database, can you build a little bit about the
Yeah.
contacts?
Talk to your friends, family, that's your database. Talk to your watchman, talk to your like whosoever is the
Whoever you know in your
whoever you know in your life, that's your database. Ask your manager, ask your colleagues if they have some cold calling database lying around, if they don't use it anymore. Like ask for the help of your colleagues, of your peers, and then build that data and follow up that database religiously. You will get something out of it.
That's 2 weeks, I would say, 3 weeks. What's next step?
The next step is to follow the rest of the rules. Do your basic trainings. That's very important, because if you are into a like a buyer making, you need to know what are the right questions to ask. You need to understand if the buyer is the actual buyer or they are just testing the market or just looking around. So that's the most important thing. And especially if you are on a vendor meeting, you need to know if they are actually looking to sell or they are just testing the market. So that's the skill set you need to understand via that process. Once you have that, your buyer or your vendor, just again, follow up is the next important step. Just to ask the discovery questions, ask the right questions, what they are trying to achieve out of it, and then help them through. Hold their hand. Do not, misguide them or mislead them. If you are unsure about anything, or your managers are there, your like colleagues are there, just ask the questions.
Ask help when you need it.
Yes. I think in the real estate, the most important thing which some of the agents like kind of fear about are the disclosures, which they are very fearful about, like telling the lie if there is anything wrong with the property or something like that. Be upfront, tell your buyer or the vendor, or that's very important. And I think you can build that trust onto it and go ahead and make your first 10,000 easy in 90 days.
I think actually my approach would be what she's doing, but you need to, if the target is 10,000 in 90 days, that is the target, that's the goal. I think you have to work from backwards from that.
Yeah.
So it's $10,000. How do we get there? It's
Mm.
actually very simple. It's just about structure. So what she's doing is like the actual things you need to do in between. The way that when we first started, it's like, what do you actually have to be doing this week, next week, and the week before after? And how much of, for example, for us, it's selling a home, how much houses we have to sell to get to that number.
Yeah.
It's a number that you have to get to, and you have to figure out how to get that. For example, for us, if you're trying to structure your plan, like she said, you have to know your database at some of your touch point, but it actually goes a bit simpler than that. You go, in your week, what are you actually doing? Like schedule out the time, like what you're going to do from this time and this time, because that's very, very important, because goals are measurable. You have to measure what you're doing every day to achieve that. There's something we can talk about more in depth, but yeah, that's
So I got an idea. Like when the first couple of weeks on planning, second couple of weeks on preparing on that planning, third or fourth week you are executing it and going again and again and again.
For example, like say it's $10,000. Say it's one listing you have to get, and you have to sell that listing. It's like, how many people do you have to talk to get to one listing? So you have to know your numbers. So you have to know, like, let's talk to 100 people to get one yes.
Okay.
And from that person, so you see, you just go from the number and you work your way down. Yeah. So that's how we work.
You guys are the one of the people facing rejection on a daily basis. Like every time when you talk, you're competing with different kind of people. Everyone have a different attitude. People talk gruff, sweet, some are funny. It's different. What are the types of rejections you face? How do you really overcome on those kind of rejection? You can give like 2 or 3 examples and maybe the tips that you have that you build into yourself to overcome those rejections.
Rejection is tough. That's the thing that I think most people fear.
Yeah.
And that's the thing when people start this industry, is like getting on the phone. Yeah. It's like, what do I say? And some people, to be honest, are not very nice at times. A rejection is just part of the process. You have to understand it's part of the job. When you realize if you have to get through 100 no's to get to one yes, it's like, just get through those no's as quick as possible. that's the mindset we have, and it just makes it easier. It's like, oh, it's supposed to be a no, let's just get through these no's. But there's phone call no's. Those are not nice at first. There's door knock no's that can be really daunting in person, and those are really tough. And then there's the rejection where you felt like you've built a relationship with someone, and then they decide, no, actually, they go with someone else. Those
That's
kinds
the most
not-
difficult ones.
But it's, again, if you just think it's part of the job,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's part of the process, it's okay. Then everyone goes through. Even the top agents, the top sellers in the world, they go through it too,
All right. I want to ask you one thing. As you mentioned about door knocks, right?
Yeah.
How did you feel about door knock?
To be
I mean,
honest,
before we start, like, have you had any bad experience?
yes, we did.
Yeah.
Lots of times. Heaps of times.
Okay, we want to hear a story there.
Sometimes, like, sometimes the people are not in their like right mood, and then they do say some rough words as well. F off.
Yeah, they're swearing at you before you even say anything or get close to the house. The dogs are chasing after us. It's crazy.
Happens many times, but I think when you are two, it is a little bit more pleasant as compared to door knocking just by yourself. Because we have experienced on our own levels as well when we were not a team, when we were working individually. Door knocking is like, being a female, it is a biggest nightmare for me. When we started both doing the door knockings, it is actually very enjoyable. Like, we really enjoy the door knocks now.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay even if sometimes like the bad mood people, and we just laugh out.
You just got to make it fun, Yeah, then it's okay.
Have you got any bad experience?
I've been chased by dogs. Like, that's the worst experience. Like, I'm not even joking. They're like chasing you and you're running for your life. That's the scariest part. In terms of safety, I'm a guy, but I do also fear, because there are stories out there. But for my experience, it's just been the dogs.
So these are some like experience that in your life that helped you to shape how to approach someone.
Yeah.
If you have one trick that most of the people don't know about it, and that you have taken that as your best advantage to convince someone, what is that trick? How somebody can learn from that?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I don't think it's really a trick, but I feel like some advice that I've gotten when I first started was like, just be yourself. I think people like don't really think about that a lot. You just have to be yourself and just be upfront. You don't have to be anything else but yourself. Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I think building a brand is again, it's not a trick. It's a very slow process in reality. Just putting yourself out, like if someone knows you before they know you, also helps. Like a word of mouth, or like when you have been, like as Jong explained, like to be yourself, like being helpful to someone. You have helped someone buying a house or anything, and they recommend, and that kind of help. So I think like being known to someone before, like they know you before even you know them, it's something which you can do really well, and you can be successful in that. And social media plays a big role in that too. That's one of the trick you can do. Be on social media. Just tell about yourself, tell about your brand, and it can help.
That makes me interested. You guys talked about a lot of skill sets here. If somebody, let's say tomorrow, somebody in age of 25 want to start selling, what kind of skill set they should be having? And maybe like you can name like 5 must-have skill set in to become a good salesperson. What kind of skill set those are? Where they can go and learn about this skill set?
Consistency is like something you need. It's hard to teach, but that's a skill that you need to learn. Also, you need to learn how to handle rejection, as we just mentioned. That's very important. Negotiation, there is an element of negotiation. That's how you talk to people, how you frame things as well. That's very important. And communication, man, this job, any sales job, you need to know how to communicate. That's so important as well. And probably lastly is just time management. Because if you're going to be successful, you're going to be busy, and you need to know how to manage your time.
All right. If I want to learn that, how can I learn it?
Yeah, that's great. Actually, there's lots of free resources out there as well. But I honestly believe it's something you just have to be quite conscious of. You have to see what the top people are doing and follow what they're doing as well. If you are serious about being successful in sales specifically, you probably want to just find someone out there who you think you want to be like, learn from them, see what they're doing. There's lots of resources like YouTube as well. So you can find those resources. Books are huge. You should read lots of books as well. That's good for to learn these things too.
Cool. Sounds good. How about you?
I
Zoe?
think Jong has mostly covered all of it. But the most important skill I think in sales is listening. In my advice, I'm a big talker. I can talk entire day, but I have like learned over my experience in real estate that listening is one of the skill you need to have, especially into the sales. You need to know what other person has to say. Follow-ups is very important. Most of the people do kind of fails in sales when they don't follow up. Doesn't matter whatever you are selling, who your clientele is. You need to have that regular follow-up like schedule. You need to know your numbers, what you are working toward, like what is your goal. It needs to be in a measurable way, not in just like in your number, in your head, And when I say you need to know your numbers, you need to have a like weekly, fortnightly, or if you are a sole trader, in fact, you need to have a meeting with yourself that, okay, this was your monthly goal or fortnightly goal. How close you are to achieve that goal. And if you are not close, what things you are doing wrong and how you can correct them. I think this is one of the most in another skill sets, which like including what Jong has said, which
You got to
someone
track your KPIs, right? Yeah.
In that case, now I want some specifics about it. Our audience would like to know. You talked about all this skill set, and there are a lot of resources in YouTube, a lot of resources in Udemy or wherever, like Google as well. If you want to name some specific tools, resources, books, videos, what it's going to be? I want to have input from both of you. So maybe
Okay. I'm someone who's like super into just listening to other people speak because there's so much good information out there. I watch a lot of YouTube as well. I like to say I read a lot of books, but honestly, I don't. But like these people like Alex Hormozy, he's a big guy in America. He does the huge things, right? I like to listen to him. I like his kind of harsh style as well. Just work, 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 work. I think that resonates with me a lot as well. In terms of other resources, I genuinely believe you just have to kind of see the person you want to be, kind of see what they're doing, and if you can, reach out and provide your services any way you can. If it's free, that's the best thing I think you can do.
what one book you recommend?
The book is called The 5 Major Pieces to the Life Puzzle. I was listening to a podcast actually regarding this, and I actually shared this book with Jay Core as well. It's 50 pages. It just condenses everything in a very short format where it's easy to read. It's only 50 pages, but it has really good lessons in there.
Oh, nice.
I would just check it out.
Okay, great. About that, Jay.
in terms of listening to someone, I do listen to Tom Pennis. Tom Pennis is one of the biggest talker or like a advice giver on real estate. He runs his like full-fledged like business around it. You can join the class. It's called Real Estate Gym. So when I started real estate for myself, I was like, of course, you have like those episodes and timings when you feel like, oh, nothing is working out. This I'm in a wrong industry and all that. And my manager at that time, he recommended me to go and watch Tom Panis on YouTube. The first time I watched that guy, he was running in his like, sweatpants, and he was like, stop wasting your time. And I still remember his words, and those remember stuck to my mind. Like, yes, you need to stop wasting your time and like keep working towards your goal, and you will be able to definitely achieve it. But you have to have like trust in yourself. You have to have that courage of taking the rejection into it. And I think I whenever I have time, in terms of when I want to listen to a actually knowledgeable podcast, I turn on Tom Canis, and I do enjoy that. also. And I do recommend to everyone who is new to the industry or thinking of coming to the industry. Yes, I definitely
Gonna
recommend.
put the link over here. All right. AI being really playing a big role in every industry. What are the use cases for you guys and selling? How do you use AI in your day-to-day basis?
AI just helps streamline some of our processes, like our systems. It just makes our work a little bit easier and quicker to do. But also, there is new technology now around AI which helps like target marketing as well. For if you're selling a home, it targets the certain potential buyers. So that's something really cool that we use as well.
Oh, nice. If you get an AI tomorrow to do everything on your day-to-day basis, like all your challenges, everything is gone. You got a assistant that listens to you everything, right? And it's an AI. How that AI gonna act in your day-to-day basis? In simple terms, how that AI will be used to make your life easier.
AI can help in streamlining the processes and making it easier, but at the end, I would say AI is not a human being. You have to do the regular checks on it, what the AI is doing or saying or sending someone. That's very important.
How about you?
It's easy to tell if something is AI, and people don't like that. And AI, you think it's going to be perfect, and it makes so many mistakes. You have to double check everything Jay said. There's like those M dashes in sentences. Everyone knows, like, people usually don't use those, right? So
Yeah.
and information, sometimes they put information that's not correct, and you have to check that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it does help the process, but you still got to be onto it.
Still good to be reviewed. So
Yeah.
it makes your life like a little bit faster, but you have to review in every conversation. Tomorrow, if you got an assistant to everything that you wanna do in your day-to-day business, what is that AI gonna be doing? Your case and your case. I wanna know about both.
It's gonna do everything for me. Any paperwork I can get, like, not have to do myself, I will let it do. If it can book all my appointments, get it into my calendar, I'll let it do that. Any face-to-face human conversation that needs to be done, I will do that.
Okay.
So everything else, AI can.
All right. Sweet. Okay, there is an opportunity there. If anyone want to build an application, that's all the opportunity there. How about you?
I hate paperwork. I want AI to do all of my admin work.
Yeah.
Please.
How much you're gonna pay for that if you get an AI solution that takes care of your admin work?
Yeah.
How much you are ready to pay for that?
I'm ready to pay a lot. As if it was family. I would treat it like family because it's so important to our job. Yeah, I'll do anything I can.
All right. We are switching into rapid round. So what's gonna happen here? I'll be asking questions for both of you. One question. Whatever comes to your mind, just shoot it. All right. So cool.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Cool. What's the
Okay.
best sales tip that you got in your life?
Be yourself and be truthful.
Confidence and be truthful.
What's the one skill that everyone should learn this year, 2026?
How to listen.
Be on social media.
What trick you wish you knew when you were 25?
Oof, that's a hard one. uh, uh, something I learned was 5 second rule. You just don't think, do it within the first 5 seconds and take the action.
All right. How about you?
Buy more gold. Being Indian, if I knew like this time it would be so expensive, I would have bought it.
Fun single habit that you change after coming to sales.
Taking a break, spending time with family, doing things that you love.
Wake up early in the morning.
What's the one tool you cannot live without?
Your phone, for sure.
Definitely my phone.
Cold call or DM?
Cold call.
100% cold call.
And why?
Cold call can turn into a warm conversation and it can turn into a hot lead. So always a cold call.
Say,
Yeah, there's no connection with the text. You got to talk to her.
all right. Fill in the blanks. If you want to be rich, learn to.
Sell.
Yeah, learn to sell.
The listeners on this podcast, right? The people who are listening to this podcast, what's the one thing they should be taking away after listening to this podcast?
I think you should just start. Whatever you guys are planning to do, just do it. You don't have to be 100% sure, just do it. I think that you guys should just take the risk, especially if you're if you're younger, you have the time to take these risks, you should just start.
How about you?
Same thing, I think. Just do it, and there is never going to be the right time. If you are waiting for the right time, today is the right time. Just do it.
If you have selling as your superpower, right, every superpower comes with a lot of benefits. And in the selling industry, one of the superpower benefits is having money, right? Apart from money, what else you should be having?
It's the lifestyle that you want. I mean, for myself personally, my why is my family. So it's the life that I'm looking for that can be achieved through selling.
Sweet. How about you?
I think sky is the limit. Money is just one thing, as Jong said, lifestyle. Lifestyle for yourself, your family. And this is the vision. It gives you the freedom to actually have a path that whatever you have ever dreamt of, you can have it.
As we are winding up, is there any message for our audience?
I'll say just whatever you guys want to do, just start it. Don't think too much about it. Just start. I know a lot of people want to be perfect and be at 100%. You don't have to be. Just do it. Take the risk. It's okay to fail because failing is part of the process. Just keep failing until you succeed. I think you only fail if you give up. So just keep going.
Cool. How about DJ?
I think adding to Jong's saying, I would say don't look for the shortcuts. Doesn't matter what age you are going to start. If you're looking for an opportunity to start a business, coming to real estate, doesn't matter what your age is. Just there's never a right time. Just do it and just keep going.